So in the last session, okay, the last topic that we covered was your combining data in pandas. Okay, suppose we have two series with us. Okay, and if you want to combine those two series, in this case you can see we have this FS series with us and this SS series with us. And if you want to combine these two series on the basis of some criteria, so that can be done using your combine method. Okay, so far we have already covered. Okay, so we will continue from here only from now. Okay, next is your concatenating data frames. Concatenating data frames in pandas. Okay, so how do we do it? Suppose class you have this data frame, okay, NBA. Okay, I'm going to slice out two different parts of this data frame and then we are going to concatenate them. Suppose I'm taking here, let's say first is your f is equal to NBA. Okay, we will take from 23 to let's say 28, for example. And next we'll take NBA, let's say 158 to 160.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, yesterday the combine is not fully taught, sir.
Combined is not fully taught. Okay,
It's,
let's cover it again. No problem. Okay. So here we are covering combine. Okay, so here you can see class we have created two series, two separate series F. Okay, like this FS series and SS series. Okay, so if you check them, this is the FS series class. Okay, randomly I have put some data here right now. Okay, in SS series also I have put randomly some data. Now what happens class? Suppose I am running this code. This is your FS, SS, and let us see this is your RS. So what exactly is happening in this case is you can see what exactly is happening in this case. We are writing fs dot combine ss comma, okay, ss comma lambda x1 comma x2 colon x1 if x1 is greater than x2 else x2. Now what is the meaning of this particular code? What is the meaning of this particular code is your that whenever see it will take one element from the fs, one and the corresponding element from the ss. Basically, if it is taking zeroth element from the LMS, then it will take zeroth element from the SS also. Okay, same index element it will take from both the series because it will compare them. Okay, what is this code doing? It will compare them, and then whichever of them is bigger. If the element from the FS series is bigger, it will take it. If the element from the SS series is bigger, then it will take SS. Okay, and whichever of them is bigger, it will save it in the RS series. Here you can see between FS and SS. Okay, let us see the first element. Okay, 1 between 1 and 2, 2 is there. Between 2 and 1, again 2 is there. Between 3 and 5, 5 is there. Between 4 and 7, 7 is there. Okay, between 5 and 1, 5 is there, and so on. So here you can see it is storing bigger of the two numbers. Okay, so this is what your combine method is. Okay, combine method will basically says that okay, like you can combine two series together. Okay, but on the basis of some particular criteria. That criteria can be anything. You say that okay, in the resultant series you want to save the addition of the corresponding elements or the product of the corresponding elements. Okay, or you want to save whichever number is even from the corresponding series. Okay, so that is how this particular code works. Clear now? Combine method. Okay, let's continue now, class. Next, I was talking about concatenating data frames in pandas. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm taking out two slices from the NBA data frame, and from one slice, I will drop a particular column. Or drop a columns is equal to, let's say, I'm dropping the position column. Let's say, Done. You can see class, this is the F data frame. Okay, and this is your S data frame. F and S. Okay, we have two separate data frames. In the S data frame, your position column is not there. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so now let's continue. Now let's combine them, concatenate them. Okay, now there are two ways of concatenating using the dot concat method. So here you will write class frames. We will first create a list of both of them, F comma S, and then I will write here pd dot concat frames. So here you can see class, it is basically concatenating both the data frames together. Okay, and in the second data frame, your position column is not there. So that is why it is showing you NaN values here. The position column for the second data frame. Okay, NaN for the second data frame. First way. Second way is class your append method. I can here write f dot append s. So here you can see same output. Okay. The difference between your concate and append is using append, you can only concatenate two data frames only. That's it. Okay. But using concat method, we are able to but using concat method, we can concatenate more than two also. Suppose I write here f comma s comma, let's say f again, maybe. Okay, so here you can see it is concatenating f, then s, okay, and then f again. Okay, so this is how it works. Clear class so far, everyone? Clear so far, everyone? At least respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's continue now. Okay, next is your class, merging data in pandas. Tell me one thing, why are you leaving and joining again and again?
Hello.
Yes,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, again it is started, sir. They are removing us. So can you please change the settings, or can you please do these classes in Google Meet?
See, actually, we're actually trying that. You can buy, okay.
But every day it is happening, sir. In the main topic we are removing. We are being removed from anyone. So can you please change the settings?
See, in the settings, I'm not getting the option. Okay. Just give me a minute, okay? So since we are here only. In the settings, I'm not getting an option to allow. Allow or not allow. There is no option of that. Next is your merging data in pandas. See class, let's continue today.
Excuse me, again they are removing it. Hello.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, again they are removing. They have removed me at least 5 times today.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Sir, you have been muted. Hello. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir, you have been muted.
No, I was actually talking to the organizer. See, do one thing. See, I am not able to change the options here. So, if possible, can you drop a mail to the organizer?
So we don't have the email ID.
Or but you must be in touch with them, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are touched with WhatsApp.
So you can ask them. Okay, you can raise a complaint on to them on WhatsApp. Is it all
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. If possible, can you please explain them our problem and tell them to conduct the classes in Google Meet?
I've already told them from my end. I've already informed them about the problem. Yes.
Because every day, at least 15 to 20 minutes, they are being wasted. The time is being wasted, sir.
Right, right. I understand. See, whoever is doing it, there is no point of like you're mature enough and you're doing this kind of things.
Yes, yes.
So while joining also we are facing troubles. So it's better to attend the class in Google Meet.
See, actually the organizer is working okay for Google Meet, okay, but see, we need the recording option also, right? So they're working to
So in
shift the
email
whole
is
thing.
possible.
Yes, yes, we are already working on that. Let's continue for now, okay? And one more thing you can do that just in case if you're not able to see the record, like okay, you can like during the class you can watch the recording later on. You must be getting the recordings, right? I hope.
Yes, sir. You are getting.
So for now, you can watch the recordings also till the problem is solved. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Next is your merging data in pandas. Okay. So for this class, I am going to take two small data frames. Okay. So I'm taking here r is equal to this the period or data frame. Here you can see this is the dictionary that I have used. This is the L data frame. Another data frame we are going to create here, R is equal to in the L data frame class. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ID, name is there, and subject ID is there. Okay, then there is another data frame R. ID is there, name is there, subject ID is there. These columns are same in both the data frames. So let us see the differences between them. Okay, in the ID column, you can see ID column is same in both of them. The name column is completely different. In this case, the names that are present in the L data frame are not present in the R data frame. Okay, and vice versa. In the subject ID column, you can see there is some common data is there. Okay, so you can see in this case sub 2, sub 4, sub 5, and sub 6. Sub 2, subject 2, 4, 5, and 6. Subject 2, 4, 5, and 6 are basically common in both of them. In L data frame, subject 1 is additional, is extra. Okay, in R data frame, subject 3 is extra. Okay, other than that, all other subjects are present. Okay, so now we are going to merge these two data frames to create a single data frame. Okay, based on this criteria, like if there is a union or an intersection, okay, or a difference, based on this we will merge that. How? We'll write here class pd dot merge L comma R. Okay, and then we will simply write L comma R. So I will get an empty data frame because we have to pass an additional argument that on the basis of which column do you want to merge them. Okay, there are two additional arguments here. Okay, pd dot merge, I will again mention L comma R. Okay, and then here we will mention class on is equal to that I say I want to merge them on the basis of ID column. Okay, so here you can see class there is one additional argument called as how, the default value of which is how is equal to inner. The default value of how is inner. Okay, and what is the meaning of inner? Inner means intersection. So here you can see it is basically taking intersection. Okay, in the ID column, all the elements are same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them are same. That is why it is completely intersecting them. Okay, but suppose if I do the same thing on the name column, okay, I will get an empty data frame because name column is completely different in both the data frames in L and R. That we can see here, L and R name column is completely different. There are no common elements. That is why when you apply this here, so how is equal to inner, right? So it is basically taking intersection by default. That is why we are getting empty data frame. If I do this same thing on, let's say, subject ID, so here you can see it is taking only those elements which are common. Okay, in the subject ID you can see I told you 2, 4, 5, and 6. Only these are common. So only sub 2, 4, 5, and 6 are present in the resultant data frame. That means intersection. Okay, now let us see this how argument. Okay, we can take something else also here. I can mention here how is equal to outer. So what is the meaning of outer? Outer means outer means union. Okay. So in this case, see, in this case, how was inner, right? So it was saying only intersection only. 2, 4, 5, and 6. In the last code, you can see it is seeing all of them. Subject 1 also, 2 also, 3 also, 4 also, 5 and 6 also. Okay, so for the subject 1, okay, your R data frame is subject 1 is not there in the R data frame. That is why it is showing you NN values here. Okay, similarly, subject 3 is not there in the L data frame. That is why it is showing you NN values here. Okay, and rest for all the common elements, it is showing both the values. So this is how these things work. Okay, inner, outer. Okay, then there is a difference also. Okay, difference can be shown by left or right. How? Suppose I write how is equal to left. Here you can see it is considering only the elements present in the left data frame. In the L data frame only, in the first data frame that we have mentioned, L comma R, right? So L is basically taken as the first data frame, or in the case of merging, it is also called as left data frame. Okay, and R is taken as the right data frame. So in the case of how equal to left, it will take all the elements from the left data frame. Okay, and only those elements will be taken from the R data frame, which is common between them. See, sub 2, 4, and 5, 6 are common. Sub 1 is not there in R data frame, that is why it is showing you NN value. And sub 3, which is there in the R data frame, is not shown here because this is left. Similarly, you can do this on the basis of right also. On the basis of right also. Now you can see the difference between the two. So here it is taking, see, NN value here on sub 3. In this case, it is NN value on sub 1. Okay, so we are merging two data frames class. So any two data frames can be merged, okay, provided their columns should be same. Obviously, columns should be same. Even if the column is like one or two columns are different, it is fine. Okay, but some columns should be same because on the basis of those columns only, it will be able to merge them.
Sir, but why we are getting ID in the float values like 1.0, 2.0?
Because here we are, see, whenever there is an NN value, no, in the column, then the integer gets converted to float automatically, the backend. Okay, to utilize the memory, because see, I told you that each and every column of a data frame is individually a series only. Okay, so
Yes.
it's individually a series only. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? See, so NN value is basically the amount of memory space utilized by the NN in the backend. Okay, should be equal to all the, should be equal to memory space utilized by all other data records also. Okay, and float takes maximum available memory space anywhere at all. So that is why everything is converted to float. Clear now? Okay, so let's continue now, class. Merging data in pandas. Next is your prescriptive statistics. Remember, this is very important topic. Prescriptive statistics in pandas. Now, what is the meaning of descriptive statistics, class? Okay, descriptive statistics is a study of data analysis to describe, show, or summarize data in a meaningful manner. Okay, in a meaningful manner. Okay, so what happens, class? Whenever we are working, whenever we are describing our data set, okay, so at that time, see, the data in the data set is majorly divided into two types. Okay, one is your categorical data. Categorical data is basically the data which can be categorized, easily. Okay, and in most of the cases, it is non-numerical values such as your gender, okay, marital status, okay, married or not, okay, or maybe your race, maybe, or religion, maybe, okay, or maybe location, okay, or your age group. When we say age group, then it will be categorical data. Okay, similarly, okay, the second type is your numerical data. Categorical data and numerical data. Numerical data can be your like weight, age, okay, your salary, maybe, okay, your height, maybe, okay, your number of children, maybe, okay, number of employees in a company. Okay, all of this is basically your numerical data because number is involved here. Okay, now one thing, remember, whenever there is a number involved, it is not necessary that it is going to be numerical data always. Okay, it can be categories. We can create categories also. Okay, when we have some discrete limited number of values. Okay, if we have continuous data, in a very wide range, then obviously it is going to be numerical. Okay, we will understand this in a while. Okay, so suppose in this case, in the case of NBA, okay, so here you can see this team column. in name column, let's say name column is neither numerical data nor categorical data. Okay, why it is not numerical? Because they are not numbers. First reason. Okay, and second is your why it is not categorical, because you cannot create categories, because obviously each and every name is going to be different. Or in other words, you can also say that the whole 457 into 9 columns when we are saying, okay, so there are 457 categories in the name column. That does not make any sense. You cannot create categories having a single element each. There is no point of doing it. Okay, so it is neither numerical nor categorical. But in the team column, you can see a lot of players are from the same team. Okay, so team column is your categorical data. Okay, same goes for position also. Okay, number is your numerical data. Okay, in the number column also we can make categories if you want to, because here you can see the number column is also some discrete values are there. Now, if how do we see, if you want to see that what discrete values are there, we can see here the NBA number, index it out, and then apply the unique method. Unique method. So here you can see these many values are there in the number column. Okay, so if you want, we can take them also categorical or numerical, totally up to us. We can make categories also, no? Right? All the people who are having number 0, all the players having number 99, all the players having number 30, and so on. Position is your categorical data. Age is your purely numerical. In the age column, we don't make categories. Okay, but if you take age group, that means from 25 to 30. In that case, you can make categories. Okay, then height is again your numerical data. Okay, even though it is present in string format here, but 6-2, this is your string data, but it can be converted to 6.2 also, 6.2, 6.6, 6.5, okay, 6.10, and so on. So that can become your integer. That means numerical data. Okay, then weight column is again numerical. College column can be categorical data. Okay, provided there. Okay, there are not a lot of colleges. Okay, if there are a lot of colleges out of 457 rows, let's say there are 200 colleges, then there is no point of creating 200 categories. Obviously, it should be limited categories, so that we can apply analysis. We can do analysis on it easily. Okay, then salary column is again your numerical information. Okay, class. So now, on the basis of this, we are going to do descriptive statistics on pandas on this particular data frame. So if I write here nba.count, first method here is nba.count. So nba.count basically gives us the number of non-null observations. Number of non-null observations. So here you can see in the college column there is lot of missing data, and there are a lot of null values. That is why it is saying there are only 373 values here. Okay, if you want to see how many values, either you can subtract 457 minus 373, or there is one more way how you can write here nba dot is null. Okay, is null dot sum. Sum. Here you can see in this case also, class, in dot sum. So 84. Okay, in the college column there are 84 null values. Okay, and in the salary column there are 11 null values. Okay, so this is how we check how many null values are there, because see, if there is missing data in our data set, okay, then missing data is a very huge problem. So we need to handle missing data separately. Okay, there are ways to do that. We will cover that too. There are ways to handle missing data, but we need to understand how much missing data is there in our data set. Okay, so nba.count we have seen. Next is the class nba dot okay, next is your nba dot sum. Okay, so sum basically uses a addition operator. Here you can see it is using the addition operator on each and every column. So this is the total sum of all the numbers. Okay, total sum of all the ages, all age. Okay, total sum of all the weights, and this is the total sum of all the salaries of all the players. Okay, so NB dot sum is there. In this case, there is no point of calculating the sum, but let's suppose you have a data set, okay, in which there is your, let's say let's suppose you have a data set with you, okay, and that is basically storing marks of students or scores of multiple people in a particular exam, okay, and you want to calculate the sum of all the scores because you want to calculate the average. First, obviously, you will need sum also, sum by the total number of people. So you can use dot sum there. Okay. Now, this particular things can be applied on particular columns also if you want to. So you have to do first indexing, okay, and then write dot sum in the end. So it will apply this particular method on those particular columns only, or a single column also if you want to. You can write here NBA dot, let's say you want to all the ages maybe, NBA dot age, okay, and then dot sum. You can see we are getting this data. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, NBA dot sum is there. The next here is your mean. NBA dot mean value. So mean value, I guess it will see. Mean value it is giving you mean number. Mean means average. Average age, average weight, and this is the average salary. Okay, what is the meaning of this? 4.84 2684 into E plus 06 means into 10 raised to power 6. E plus 06 means 10 raised to power 6. Okay, this is your mean salary. Similarly, we can calculate median also. Okay, and B dot median. Okay, this is median. What is median class? Median is basically the mid value. When you arrange the whole data set into continuous manner, so then the middle most value of the whole data set will be called as your median value. Then there is your mode value. What is mode? Mode is most occurring data. Okay. So there is no point there is no point of applying mode on each and every column. Okay. In the number column, you can see 5 is the most occurring data. In the age 24, in the position SG is the most occurring. Okay. In the team, New Orleans is the most occurring. In the college, Kentucky is the most occurring. This is the most occurring salary, most occurring age, most occurring height. Okay. In the name column, it is taking all of them or all 457 of them. Why? Because all of them, you can say, are most occurring in the name column because single value, right? Single timer is present each and every name. Okay. So that is that. Let's continue now. Mean, median, mode. Okay, next is your standard deviation. If I write here NBA dot standard STD, so here you can see it is giving a standard deviation of each and every numerical column. See, mean, median, your sum, your standard deviation, your absolute value. Okay, all these can be applied on numerical columns only. Okay, next is the min max. If I write here NBA dot min, so you can see it is giving me the minimum value. This is the minimum age, minimum height, minimum weight, minimum salary. Same goes for maximum also. NBA dot max. So it is giving us maximum salary, maximum data for all the columns. Okay, in the backend, it basically uses the comparison operator. That is why we are getting this data here. Next user class, sum we have already seen. That next user product also NBA.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, on what basis the name and team? Since the name and team are string values, so which value will be given as max value and min value? On the
On the
basis
basis
of
of
length?
their, on the basis of characters. See here you can see it is
Number of
singing A. No, A.
uh,
A, and here maximum it is singing Z.
okay.
Here also you can see maximum 10 W. Okay, here minimum it is singing A. So next is the class NBA dot product. Okay, now if I apply product now, it will give an error because it cannot be applied on all the columns. See, unnecessarily it is giving us infinity, and it is giving us a warning, not an error. Overflow encountered in reduce return. Okay, why? Because when it tried to calculate a product of all the ages, then it went up to infinity. Same happened with weight also. Same happened with salary also. In the number column, there was one person whose number was 0. Once person number was 0, so that is why the product becomes 0 for all the people. Okay, that is your product. Then if you remember, in NumPy we covered your cumulative sum and cumulative product. Okay, same thing is present here also. NBA dot cumulative sum. Can only concatenate string to string. So it won't work on all the columns because there are some string columns also present. Okay, so this specifically needs a numerical column. Let's work on age column for now. Okay. So you can see it is calculating cumulative sum. 25 cumulative sum means addition of the current input and the previous output. Similarly, your cumulative product is also there. So if I write here NBA dot age dot cumulative product. Okay, so you can see at some point it is going to infinity also because the number will become a lot bigger. See, infinity is present separately
Sir,
as INF. Sorry,
not understood. The sum one,
sum is
cumulative
basic.
sum.
Cumulative sum basically means that. See, okay, let me show you the age column separately. So this is the age column. Okay, so what happens in cumulative sum? It basically adds the current input and the previous output. When the first input is 25, so output is 25. Next input is 25 class. So basically current input and the previous output. So it will add 25 with the previous output 25. That means 50. Okay. Then it will add 27 with 50. Current input with the previous output. So 27 plus 50 is 77. Then 22 plus 77 is 99. Then 99 plus 29 is your 128. Are you getting it now?
Yes.
Current input and the previous output. Same thing happens in cumulative sum also. Same thing happens in the cumulative product also. Okay, there is one more thing class here. NBA.age. Although we don't require it here, but I'm still showing you the data method. ABS. ABS is basically used for absolute value. Okay, in this case, we will get the same data. So basically, absolute value means positive value. When you write absolute value of -7, basically it will give absolute value of -7 is 7. That means positive value. So here age column is already positive in positive. That is why we don't need absolute value, but it is still there. Okay. So these things are there class. Now there is another function called as nba.describe, which is basically used to summarize a lot of information about the data. Okay. So here you can see it is giving us the count value for all the numerical columns, mean value. Okay, see, describe normally will work on the numerical columns only. If you want to see all the columns, then you have to pass an additional argument here called as include Okay. By default value of include is number. Okay, we have to change it to all. All means we have to see all the columns. See, it is showing data for all the columns now. So name column. Okay, it is giving us count for all of them. Count basically gives us null observations. Unique means basically means how many unique values are there. In the name column 447. In the team column 30. Okay, there are 30 teams. Unique will not work on the numerical column. Okay, there are 5 positions, 18 types of height. Okay, 118 colleges. Okay, on the numerical columns here, unique will not work. Same goes for top also. Top, it will show the top value. Top value means like having the maximum like number of observations. So New Orleans have the maximum basically maximum players are from the New Orleans teams. Okay, maximum players are playing from the SG position. Okay, having the height of 6'9". Okay, and from the college Kentucky. Okay, similarly your frequency is there. How many, like you can see 19 players are there from New Orleans. 102 people are playing from the SG position. 59 people have this height 6'9". Okay, 22 people are from the Kentucky college. Okay, rest of data class here. Mean, standard deviation, minimum value. Okay, this is your 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, and maximum value are basically work on your numerical columns only. Now, what is the meaning of percentile? This is not percentage. This is percentile. Let us see that once. Let's see. Percentile means a kth percentile in statistics. A kth percentile is a score. So rate this ones from here till here. Okay, so this is your percentile. Okay, percentile means that simply if I give an example, suppose I am saying that I am let's say I have given an exam and I am saying that I have scored in 99th percentile, 99th percentile. So meaning of that is that I am in the top 1% of the people. I am in the top 1% of the students who gave that particular exam. Suppose I say I am in the 80th percentile. I have scored in 80th percentile. That means I am in the top 20% of the people who gave the exam. Okay, we are not talking about percentage. Okay, percentage is basically your instantaneous. Basically, your percentage is related to a particular person. Okay, but in case of percentile, it is basically considering your position with respect to the whole population in the given sample data. Okay, so that is a percentile. So it is see 25 percentile. Now see percentiles are there. Any number can be there. 1th percentile, okay, to third, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, till 100. Any percentile can be there. Okay, but when we say 25, 50, or 75, they are also called as quartiles. Quartiles. Quart means 4, right? So they are also called as quartiles. Okay, 25th percentile is called as the first quartile. 50th percentile is called as the second quartile. Okay, and 75 percentile is called as the third quartile. Okay, now class 50th percentile is also the median value. 50th percentile is also the median value, because think about it now. When I say that I have scored 50th percentile, okay, that means whatever percentage whatever marks I have scored, those marks are basically higher than the 50% of the population. That means if I arrange the marks of each and every person in ascending order, then my marks will be somewhere in the the middlemost value in the whole population data when arranged in ascending order. That is called as your median value. Okay, and also your 50th percentile. Okay. Now class, based on this, there is another term called as interquartile range. Your interquartile range. So what is it? Let us see. Okay, see, interquartile range, basically the IQR describes the middle 50% of the values when ordered from lowest to highest. That means your Q3 minus Q1 is your interquartile range. Basically the population from the 75th percentile to the 25th percentile. This whole population is called as interquartile range because this population represents 50% of the whole population. Okay, 50% of the whole population in the mid range. In the mid range. Okay, let me show you the graph also once. Okay, see this graph. Okay, so your Q3 is 70th percentile, your Q1 is 25th percentile, and this median value is your Q2. Okay, so Q3 minus Q1, the range from Q1 to Q3 is called as your IQR range, interquartile range. Okay, and the maximum number of population majorly lies in this range only. Okay, interquartile range. In descriptive statistics, the interquartile range is a measure of statistical dispersion, which is a spread of the data. Okay, spread of the data, basically mid spread. The IQR may also be called as a mid spread, middle 50%, or H spread. Okay, it is defined as a difference between the 75th and the 25th percentile of the data. Q3 minus Q1. Okay, class. So this is the descriptive statistics. Is there any doubt, anyone? Is there any doubt, anyone, in today's topic? Okay, so that is all for today. So we'll continue next in the next session. Okay, one more thing. Okay, the like we are going to start with the advanced topics now. So make sure all of you cover. Okay, if you have any pending backlogs. Okay, so make sure that you cover that during the weekend. Okay, before the next session. Okay, so that's all for today, class then. Okay, everyone.